Well, gents, let us get to your stock picks for today. Grant, what are you choosing?
So my stock pick is one of those that never gets cheap, but it's always a great business. Capitec, that's my pick. It's had a decent pullback, close to, well, it's over 12%, 13%, somewhere around there. I think it remains fundamentally outstanding business with outstanding management and a lot of growth drivers that they are yet to pull. So they're moving into a lot of value-added services outside of the traditional core banking that are all high margin businesses. And, I still think there's very exciting prospects. This is not a stock you're likely to get cheap unless there's some kind of COVID blowout or a GFC. So when you get a pullback, you should look at least look at starting to nibble on this kind of business.
Yeah, interesting, because I also saw that Bank of America also shared similar sentiments. JP, on your side, what are you hanging your hat on?
So similar theme of a company whose shares are not necessarily trading at a cheap level at the moment, but I do think it's a high quality company that's a growth company. And I would be surprised if you would ever get the shares very cheap unless there's a big significant correction in markets overall. And that's Boxer. Also a recent listing, as you said, if you look at the recent listings, especially the unbundlings, they've done particularly well because these are not companies that decide to list where someone is selling shares necessarily because they think at that price they're going to make more money than the public. It's sort of almost like a forced listing.
Yeah.
So with Boxer having been unbundled out of Pick n Pay partially, you can now access it directly. If you look at the growth profile, both the historical growth, the future growth expected, the high returns on capital, it is up quite a bit from the IPO price. But I would love to wait till it gets cheap. But I think it's one of those that if you try to wait, you might wake up 10 years later and you didn't ever get an opportunity, and the share price is 7 times higher than where it was today. So not cheap, but a high quality company, and that's the one I'm going for tonight, Boxer.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your analysis today, gents. Much appreciated. To our viewers, there are 2 questions that I didn't answer, multi-choice and prospects for PGM producers. But Simon is back with Stockwatch tomorrow, so I'm sure he will be going through those. That is all for tonight's Stockwatch, though, thanks to our guest, Pierre Verster from Protea Capital Management and Grant Nader from Benguela Global Fund Managers. Coming up, the close. Stay watching.
Thank you.